This is the New England Take, policy, politics, and life in New England. I'm AJ Kierstead. The Federal Reserve has released the Senior Loan Officer Opinion Survey on Bank Lending Practices. And I'm joined today by Sarah Lindstrom of Citizens Bank to discuss what it means for the small business financing in New Hampshire. Citizensbank.com to learn more about their services. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So to start off with, what is this survey with a very terrible name about? And at a macro level, what does it kind of help people in the finance industry to know about industry trends?
Yeah, I would just start by saying, we constantly are doing surveys and different, avenues will take surveys to understand trends in the marketplace, understand customer sentiment, how people are feeling about the information that's out there and what they need to know. And, what I would share first and foremost is that, here at Citizens, we pride ourselves on, really helping small businesses and being a member of the community. And as you know, in New Hampshire, we have the most branches and, have a significant number of employees. And we know that New Hampshire small business owners represent 49% of the employed customer base or employee base. And so for us, what does it mean? We're still here to help our customers through these challenging times. And we know that our customers are going to need access to capital, access to credit. And our job is to really understand the needs of their business, understand the growth plans that they have for their business, and to sit down and figure out how we can help them establish their goals as they move forward.
So what sort of trends are we seeing with this report that kind of informs you as someone in the finance industry to know the best way to support your clientele?
Yeah, I think, you hear it all over the news, right? Around credit is tightening and, are we headed for a recession? Are we in a recession? How long will it last? Will it be a soft landing? Will it be a hard landing? You're still seeing pressures from inflationary and what that means for small business owners. Profits are being squeezed. Small business owners are still struggling to find affordable talent. And they're being faced with, different headwinds and challenges. And certainly, some are still being challenged with supply chain issues. And so for us here at Citizens, it's really sitting down and trying to understand, as I said earlier, what are they struggling with? What do they need our help with as their trusted advisor? And what's their plan? What do the financials of their business look like today? What have sales, trends been? And do they have any growth plans? Is it the right time to, for them to expand? Should they slow that down? But more importantly, how can we help them? And so is it a business credit card that they need? Is it a loan or a line of credit? Are they going to leverage some of the cash that they have on hand? What do they want to do with potentially any excess cash that they have on hand? And so it's really trying to understand the full picture from that business owner so that we can really dive deep to provide a holistic approach and solutions that will help them with their needs. We also find, AJ, that many customers are struggling with cash flow, and are they getting paid by their vendors on time? How does that impact their own cash flow within their business? And so we try to look at everything for them and, again, approach it so that we can be that trusted advisor and help them, even though times are challenging, certainly.
Especially over this last quarter, what's unique about 2023 that you're seeing as people are coming in?
Yeah, I think a couple of the things that are unique, right? Inflation being number one. It's a challenge for everyone. It's a challenge as a consumer. It's a challenge as a business owner. And so as inflation goes up, as the cost of goods go up, as, what we have to pay employees and what business owners are paying for the talent that they have in the workplace, the demands are going up. And so that puts a squeeze on profit margins. And so business owners are then forced to, do they raise their prices? Do they need to do something differently to really adjust their own plans? And so when it comes to credit and lending, for example, we just need to look at every situation to understand, have sales started to go down? Are they going to be able to repay their loans? And, as interest rates rise, which is another pressure that business owners are being faced with right now, does it make more sense to sit and wait it out? Or should they, have something on hand should things get worse and they need emergency access to cash? Or should they leverage the cash that they have on hand to make any purchases that they were planning to do? And those are the questions that business owners are being faced with. And again, every business owner has a unique situation and is in a different, spot with where they're at in their business. And so our job is to really dig deep and try to help them and advise them along the way.
This seems surprisingly dynamic with the way you work with your clients, and especially for small businesses. It seems very much a case-by-case basis with the finer details of paths forward.
Absolutely. Every business is different and every business situation is unique. You've got businesses that we support here at Citizens in my area, specifically in business banking, where you've got a startup business, a mom and pop, business, small, maybe 1 to 2 employees, self-employed, all the way up to, lower middle market companies with annual revenues, upwards of $20-25 million. And so they could have hundreds of employees. And so it's really trying to understand the unique challenges and situation that each business is in. Our goal is to stand with each business owner as they grow their business, to be there to support them through the different life cycles that they'll go through.
What are some advantages to working with, sorry if this is a wrong classification for it, but more of a regional bank with the current economic climate? It's impossible to ignore what's happened with recent trends. Obviously, there were some other banks who were doing some very unfortunate things that the majority of the banking industry has called out in the past, for sure. So I definitely want to make sure to clarify that. What are some advantages to working with a bank like Citizens that's regional, focused on this part of the country?
Yeah, a couple of advantages, I would say. So first and foremost, we're very well capitalized, right? We don't have the challenges that some of these other banks had. And those were isolated incidents. We have a very well diversified portfolio. A number of our deposits are insured, and we have a big consumer base focus as well. The other thing that I would say, we really get to know our customers, and we're in our local communities so that we can serve the needs for our communities and the customers and the local businesses that we support. Being in New Hampshire as one of the, we're the 10th largest bank in the country, but we're New Hampshire's largest bank. And so, I think that affords us the opportunity to really look at every situation uniquely and be there to support each business depending on what their situation is. We have a very large balance sheet, so that it does allow us to still continue to lend, where other banks, depending on what their situation is, they may, have to pull back or tighten some of their lending standards.
What are some tips for small businesses if they're looking to possibly approach a bank in the not too distant future? They're looking to expand. We're coming into summer, so the tourism industry is definitely, hopefully, not going to be booming over the next few months. What are some tips that maybe business owners should prepare before they meet with someone like you?
So I think, having a good read on what their financial situation is, knowing their story, where do they want to go? Can the financial support what the growth is that they're looking to do? Having a solid business case is always really important because when we sit down with a client, our goal is to really understand the needs. What are they taking advantage of today? Where do they plan to go in the future? And making sure that the growth strategy that they have in place can be supported by the financials that they have. So the more robust that they can be and making sure that they have their tax returns and their bank statements and they're giving us a complete view will help us determine how we can help them best.
And probably I would suggest listen to the bankers when you talk to them, because they deal with this on a regular basis. Yes, Google
Absolutely.
and YouTube are great. You get informed on a lot of things, but take the personalized advice. There's a reason why you should take advantage of the one-on-one conversations.
Yeah, we're experts in our field, and this is what we do all day. And our goal is to help businesses thrive and take it to the next level. And so, our main objective is how do we support our local small business communities and how do we help them continue to prosper and, be successful.
Sarah Lindstrom at Citizens Bank, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, AJ.
citizensbank.com if you want to check out more from what they're doing, and definitely support local banks in New Hampshire and New England if you're checking out outside of New Hampshire. This is the New England Take. I'm your host, AJ Kierstead, the NewEnglandTake.com. Like and subscribe if you're checking out the YouTube version, and Tuesdays and Thursdays we release audio versions of the show also on your favorite podcast platform, so be sure to search for the New England Take over there.